Hi, I'm Stephan with Papadakis Racing. We just got back from the SEMA show in Las Vegas where my Celica was in the Eneos oil booth. On the way back, we decided to do something a little bit more fun and drive back from Vegas to LA. But instead of just going down the major interstate, we actually went through the national park, Death Valley. My buddy Dom came out with his old 80s Volvo, and my friend Brad has a Z32 300ZX twin turbo from the 90s. So we thought it'd be fun to do, a cool trip through the desert on the way back to LA. We did a bunch of updates before the SEMA show. So we went through the whole paint and body. I've got a video on that that'll be in the description below, all the way down to the metal, and then rebuilt the car, all the paint back up with this really nice Toyota 80s blue paint. We went through and redid the whole front end of the car, refinished everything. Like this little badge, you can't get these anymore. So we had a buddy, this is actually 3D printed, and then Dom went and hand painted all the inside of it. The headlights are an updated Holley part. It has like that retro look, but it actually is a modern LED bulb. I think it's a 500K light color, so it actually is really good at night. The whole engine bay was also now repainted. Redid the braking system. This is actually a part that Willwood makes. We took away the booster, and the pedal now goes to this single rod from the pedal to a dual master cylinder setup. So you can do separate front and rear masters, so you can get the balance right. And then to fine tune the balance between front and rear, it actually has this knob that turns. When you push on the rod from the center, it'll offset to give more bias to the front and rear master cylinder, so you can make changes to the front to rear bias on the brakes. The engine is still the 18RG engine, and I'm in the process of actually building a new one of these that has more modern parts, so keep an eye out for that video. The wheels are based from an old Tom's Toyota racing wheel, and they made some for the street as well, but they're all 13 and 14-inch wheels, and I really wanted to use 15s. So what we did was we had a buddy design up the center in the Tom's type design, and then we built it into a 3-piece wheel. So we had the center machined, and the barrels and everything are like a BBS based hoops, and with I think it's a 30 bolt, and these are all titanium bolts, aluminum machine center, powder coated, and then the polished lip. And it's got 205 50/15 front tires, and then 225 50/15 rear tires. So what is your car?
So it's a 1985 Volvo 245 wagon. I'd say the favorite part are the wheels that I built. So it's like a custom one-off wheel. I took a Mustang 15-inch wheel, cut it apart, and I made it a 3-piece, so now it's a 17-inch.
What size wheels are on it?
So right now they're 17 by 9 all around.
Oh, okay. And what about tire size?
I have 2 different size tires. I run a 235/40/17 and a 245/40/17.
So this is not the stock engine?
So it is a stock engine, but not out of this car. Car is originally a non-turbo, so it's a 2.3 liter 4-cylinder, and they made a turbo version of it that came in some of the newer cars. So I swapped a motor from a 92 Volvo 780. So this is the B230 FT, which is the turbocharged version.
How much power do you think it makes?
Right now I have a upgraded turbo on it. It's a 19T turbo with a billet wheel, and I have a cam, so it's probably a little over 200 at the wheels, probably like 220 or so, I'd say. So I've owned the car for about a year and a half now. It was pretty rough when I bought it. I've always wanted one of these older Volvo wagons, and they're kind of hard to find a decent one. So this one was kind of rough shaped. It had some rust. The paint wasn't that great. So over the course of a year or so, while driving the car every day, I would just clean stuff up and replace things. And then probably a year or so after I had bought it, I purchased the motor and I did the motor swap. The first time I actually took this thing driving hard through the canyons, I noticed the front end had like a little bit of a noise, and it had a factory brace that goes from here to the firewall, and both sides actually just broke, like completely sheared in half. So I was like, wow, the thing must be moving around. So I built this whole strut tower brace out of chromoly, and you could almost feel the difference. As probably noise too, it quieted it down a little bit because the front end, I guess, doesn't really flex as much, but it was actually a pretty good improvement. I made my own adjustable cam gears, and I did the same design as the wheel on the car. So it's basically a mini version of the Mustang 3-spoke wheel.
And you made these yourself?
Yeah, I drew it up in Fusion 360 and programmed it, and I machined them out of 6061.
Are these intercooler pipes and are the factory ones?
So I retained a few of the stock items. Like this is the stock intercooler and radiator and overflow tank, but I kind of upgraded some of the parts to make it look a little cleaner and to fit in the engine bay better. So all the piping is all titanium. I TIG welded all this. Another cool thing is this car has a mass airflow meter. It's actually inside of my air filter. So if you look, you just see a clean intake pipe with no mass air meter. And I have a DTM connector actually that plugs in to the side of the air filter. And my mass air meter is completely inside the filter. The factory Volvo engine mounts are like pretty weak, and going to like a polyurethane mount is a little too rough for daily driving. So I actually did a third engine mount. It's kind of like a little cylinder here that has a bushing inside, so it prevents any movement of the engine from like rocking back and forth. And that seemed to make a pretty good difference, and it doesn't feel any rougher at idle or cruising. Once I drove it in the canyons, I realized I needed better brakes as well. So these come off of a Volvo S60R, so I'm using the Brembo calipers and the rotors from that car. So it's the same bolt pattern, everything fits, and then I just made my own brackets to bolt the calipers on.
You did custom slots as well on this?
Yeah, I machined some slots into the rotor to kind of fit in the window of the wheel.
Which is where I got my idea for doing the custom slots on mine.
Yeah.
And then, so you've also changed the interior a bit?
Yeah, so the interior is pretty much stock with the exception of these Recaro seats that I did. It's like a vintage Recaro LX seat, and I found them for sale, and it happens to match the factory blue, so it looks really good. It was probably one of the best upgrades because it makes the car just feel so much tighter, and they're not as bouncy as the stock seats, so it's definitely worth it. So they don't really make anything for the Volvo, so I actually bought an old wooden set of window blinds, and I took them all apart, and I made this shade out of it. And then the other thing, this is pretty cool too. It was almost like the first thing I did to the car. So my friend Fredric Aasbo was telling me in Norway, they had these on the Volvos back in the day because it would snow a lot, and basically it deflects air down onto the back window when you drive, so it would blow all the snow off the back of the car. And before I had it, the back of the car would get super dusty if you drive like off-road or something. And after I added this, you can see the whole window stays pretty clean. Yeah, before I had it, like because the back of the car is so flat, it just swirls all the air, and it would just be covered in dust without that thing. And it just looks cool too.
Is a 1995 Nissan 300ZX twin turbo. I think the best part of the car is probably cruising places like Angeles Crest, like sweeper type mountain roads. It's just perfect up there.
What about the worst part about the car?
Working on it. It's extremely cramped in the engine bay.
Any interior mods?
No, the interior is completely stock. It's actually a Canadian car. So the gauges are in kilometer per hour, but otherwise, as far as I know, that's a stock interior.
right, so thanks for watching. If you want to see more content on the Celica, I'll link to some videos in the description down below. Larry Chen did a cool feature from SEMA this year. And remember to like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next video.